which stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Well, we're going to be one member short tonight. Mike is excused. So we will start with a motion to approve the meeting minutes from our regular meeting of May 12th, 2026. Is there such a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from May 12th.
A second.
Thank you. Any additions or corrections or things that needed to be in there that aren't? Or that are in there and shouldn't be? Okay, all those, not hearing any, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. There are none, so they're approved. Is there a motion to adopt tonight's agenda?
I'll make a motion. Oh, okay.
Let's see, we need a motion to see who's gonna make the motion now. So who made it?
Agenda. Kevin,
Kevin made it?
I'll second.
All right. Anything that needs to be added to the agenda or tabled or no changes? Alrighty. All those in favor of adopting tonight's agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. All right. It is adopted. We'll start off tonight with, well, not start, I guess, but we will continue with public comments and questions. First up is Rod Larson.
Wait till he can. Wait till she can get her.
Good evening. Black holes. This board seems to be one. The second bullet under the district's mission statement is safety and culture. Quote, ensuring a safe, nurturing environment where students are protected from violence, harassment, and bullying. The number of credible reports of those kinds of behaviors that I've received when added to cases in the public record suggests that students in this district are not adequately protected from these behaviors. At this point, I, for one, and I expect others in the community, don't think the current administration or board are competent to ensure a, quote, safe, nurturing environment, unquote. The record speaks for itself. The board has a citizen advisory group to assist in the planning of a new middle school. I would suggest the board establish a citizen advisory group to address student safety in all its attendant forms. This suggestion does not, in as far as I am concerned, relieve the board of its obligation to evaluate whether the current administration's actions or lack thereof have contributed to the dismal state of student safety in the district, and, to borrow from my comments at the previous meeting, find where the buck stops. Back to black holes. Given the frequency of student safety violations in the district, I think the board should report incidents as they occur and also report the consequence assigned to the offender. I'm not suggesting breaching confidentiality. For example, bullying, first offense, parents notified, 2-day suspension. Such reporting will provide transparency about the behavior and the consequence, and thus ensure the community that inappropriate behavior is being identified and effective action taken. This will also have the salutary effect of diffusing gossip. Over time, a year-to-year comparison of these statistics will establish trends, enabling feedback on the effectiveness of policies, procedures, training, and the implementation of the same. This will identify strategic modifications to improve student safety. I ask the board not to hide behind the confidentiality bogeyman, but to get out of the box and inform the community.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. Next, we have Shannon Godesky.
Good evening, everybody. A week ago, I went to the middle school track championship meet in Joyce to watch my daughter compete at the meet. It was a good opportunity to see our young athletes excelling after all their hard work throughout the season. The The afternoon was marred, however, when I saw Brian Weeks set up his chair right next to the middle school track team. I was further disturbed to see him approach a girl on the team and initiate a conversation with her. Thankfully, her mother was nearby and stepped in between them. My daughter was reassured by another girl on the team. She walked up to her and said, "Don't worry, we're all keeping an eye on you." Well, I applaud this girl for her situational awareness and her team leadership. Our kids should not have to keep an eye on school employees who are under active investigation while at school-sponsored activities. Board members, I call on you to hold your employees accountable. The Title IX investigation of Brian Weeks remains open well past the 30-day limit established under board policy number 5011P. I further call on you, members of the school board, as I did on April 14th, to fire Brian Weeks for cause, include filing documentation with OSPI, permanently bar him from district property and events, filing a protection order for QVSD students at school-sponsored events, and filing a permanent trespass from district property. And kind of speaking to my dad's remarks, the Washington State School Directors Association encourages community involvement under their framework for effective governance, including communication, transparency, and accountability. You can look specifically to Standard 5 in that framework. Standard 5C1, does the board ensure that a proactive communication system is in place to seek and disseminate information to address issues in the schools and all areas of the community? 5C2, does the board identify and use key communicator groups from all segments of the community to seek input and disseminate district information and decisions? Community would love to be involved.
Thank you. I have Ryan Johnson.
Good evening. Commitment, integrity, respect. My name is Ryan Johansson, and I'm here to answer a question posed by the chair, Mr. Bill Rohde, at the last board meeting. How do we get those numbers back up in reference to the district's dropping enrollment numbers? This question is a question that I'm sure is being asked by administrators and board members across the state and the nation. I believe the answer lies at a local level, while blaming state or federal guidelines are an easy and cowardly cop-out. How many of you board members have gone out of your way to talk with someone who disagrees with you? And instead of arguing with them or defending your positions, you listen, take notes, and explore potential solutions to protect our kids. Not one of you have talked with me or my wife as to why our kids are not in public school. My issues go back to my time as a student, as well as the behind-the-scenes issues my father had while he was spending 20 years here as a teacher. Perception is everything. Actions speak louder than words. Currently, this district has the perception of a lack of accountability. Whether the perception is correct or not doesn't matter. This is how the community feels about the current district. What are you board members doing to change this? How can you show us parents that the perception is wrong? Simple. Show us action, not bureaucratic diplomacy. When misconduct occurs, the reputation and perception of a district are ruined for years to come. Repeated misconduct by individuals who are known to dabble in such devious behavior erode the trust that has been built up over generations. I understand that you can't control every employee's actions. However, you can control how you respond when such allegations arise. I believe that it falls on the board to ensure proper actions are taken when allegations do arise. If proper actions are not taken, then the board must take action when the administration who are responsible does not take appropriate action. The responsibility of ensuring each investigation is fully completed and documented falls on the board. When there is no accountability, how can I entrust an agency with my children? Commitment, integrity, respect. All of you should be familiar with these words. What do these words mean to you? Who are you committed to? Public perception says you have no integrity. What are you doing to change that? Respect. I'll go back to a saying that was on the library wall when I was in elementary school. Do unto others what you want done to you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Is that Pam Gale? Pam, did you sign in?
I'll pass tonight.
I also will pass.
Okay. Sam Hinchin?
No, sorry.
No, that's okay. You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your comments. And we do hear them, so we will proceed then. Anybody, Nathan, out in the hinterland, have any comments or questions? All right. Well, with that, then we're going to move on to our consent agenda. Is there a motion to adopt tonight's consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to adopt tonight's consent agenda.
I'll second.
Any questions about the agenda? We're all good? Okay.
Hired teachers, so.
Yeah.
Few of them.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're proposing to hire a counselor that has been vacant from the elementary school for 2 years now.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great.
Good.
Good news.
All right. Well, if there aren't any questions, all those in favor of adopting tonight's consent agenda, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. It's adopted. Go to reports. Leadership report. First thing under that is school safety, lockdown debrief and active shooter drill with the first responder on August 27th. Go ahead, Bill Henderson, you're the lead on this, I think.
Alrighty, so we've had 2 lockdown drills, or actually there aren't drills, 2 lockdowns here at the school. We had a quick follow-up to the first one. Diana actually pulled all the school employees together, law enforcement was there. And we kind of talked through what worked and what didn't work with that lockdown that we had. Unfortunately, it was, I got to give it up to Mike and them, by the way, Rally. They were fast. They were right on scene. I barely hung up the phone to 911 when they showed up. And so they got into the building, took control right away. We were able to get the kids to a safe location. But getting back to it, Diana pulled everybody together. We kind of all sat down together, kind of went over what worked, what didn't work. And it gave us some things to kind of learn off of, and which helped. Because a week later, we had another one.
The copy.
Yeah, correct. There was a copycat one from over at the elementary school. And this time, we were able to get more information out to people so they understood it. E3 worked for everybody. We had a lot better response with our staff on that next one. So we've switched to E3, as you guys have known. I think you guys are tied into E3 now as well. And so with E3, it's quick, it's fast. They put it to lockdown. Everybody gets on their computer, goes onto their phones if they have it on their phone. You can mark where you're safe. If it's an evacuation drill, wherever you go to, you mark it safe. You know where you're at. There's accountability where our kids are. I really like E3, but getting back to those, law enforcement responded fast. They handled the situation to the best of their abilities. We had law enforcement from all over on the first one. We had people from Quinault, we had game wardens, we had state patrol, we had enforcement from everywhere. And as fast as they got here, we were working, getting kids out and getting them to the gym, but they just kept coming. And so it showed me what this community is made of with the way those responders got here. And again, I want to thank them publicly, and to our board, I want to thank them. Diana, was there anything on
No, just that we did the surveys, and also we had two different systems, one for Thrill Share, then also one in our emergency 3 application, and we got really good feedback in the second one. And one of those is to make sure that every staff member has that app on the computer as well as on the phone. We felt like we got really good feedback with that. And so then the other part that I wanted to bring to your attention is the hospital contacted us last year, I think.
It's been about 3 months, actually.
Yeah, somewhere before Christmas they have to do some kind of first responder activity to meet their safety needs. We have been planning one with the sheriff's department for a long time. So we've met 3 or 4 times. We'll meet again this month and again in July, but we have one planned now for August 27, 2026, and we'll be putting out community communication so that everybody knows. But when I mean first responder, we're getting air, flight, everybody is responding.
Correct.
And
Multi-agency across the board. Airlift will be.
we'll do it right at the end of our first or second professional development day. So all of our staff will be involved. We do not know there will be a scenario, and we do not know the specifics of the scenario, so we can see how everybody responds. Part of the hospital's responsibility is that they will be triaging and taking at least 10 potentially wounded individuals, and they go all out for it. And so we expect the drill to be about an hour and a half. And we've done a lot of planning, but we're not quite there yet. One of the pieces of that is all of our emergency responders will also have access to the E3 app, so that there can be clear communication. We'll set up an incident command system where there's one person in charge. There's one person in charge of communication. And so just know that is coming. I wanted to make the public announcement here first. And then again, we'll put stuff out in the community Forks Forum, all of our communication that goes out as well to families.
And how much of on the review that was done for our lockdowns, how much of that is public or can be public?
We could include that in any article or information, how quickly we responded. I mean, we had elementary students out on the playground who were in the building literally within 2 minutes.
They were in the building and locked in classrooms in less than a minute
Yeah.
from the playground.
Yeah.
They responded
I
phenomenally.
think that would be good information to somehow get out.
And you said there was like surveys that went out, and
Did we find out who made the threats?
In the first incident, we have, in tandem with the police department, been openly investigating, and we haven't gotten anywhere.
How about the second?
In the second one at the elementary school, Sarah was able to, and it was a copycat incident where there was a note left in the bathroom as well, and through the camera system and then investigation, Sarah was able to identify, and then we appropriately provided discipline according to the matrix. For the developmental elementary level, the state matrix, there's differences. If there's a threat that at the middle and the high school, that the discipline looks different. And again, that's developmentally appropriate for the age. And Sarah, according to the matrix, provided what I would consider the highest level of punishment.
How old was the kid? I mean, just little or?
Third?
Third grade.
Yeah. Yeah, without identifying, obviously,
No,
we
no,
can't
no.
identify. Yeah.
Thanks.
an example, like what did you guys decide like went good or went bad, or what you could change, or?
So some of the communication's number one. So in E3, you have a chat in E3. And so there's a little bit of chatting that would go back and forth. And then at the same time, just more communication out to the public, more communication within the building. And Diana, on the second go around, I was trying to give her more information the quicker I could. The first one, I'm over at the building helping them. I'm trying to give her information and get things out. So as we're communicating back and forth, she's trying to get the information out. But I think we got kind of a better system on our second go around, and I was able to communicate more with her, and we got more information out to people. So I think that's a big piece. We just want to communicate more with people and let them know what's happening and what's going on at the time. Unfortunately, we're bad, this is a bad thing that happens in our time. And, it was a scary situation. It was scary for a lot of the kids. I'll tell you, it was very, very scary. We had a lot of upset kids at the middle school.
Absolutely.
And, but they did good. Our kids did good. Our teachers did good.
Are there certain like activities that you guys have at the schools for the kids to do during lockdowns or?
So we transitioned from the lockdown to shelter in place, and so the students were then, once we knew we were out of danger, the ones that were in the library were able to use some of the resources in the library. And then in the gym, they still kind of allowed them to be, socialize a little bit.
But again, the response was quick from our local EMS and our police departments and such. They did a great job. I just want to thank them.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that we heard from first responders, at least when we're preparing for the August 27th drill, is that the first instinct for parents is to come on campus and pick up their children. In a real event, that's the last thing that you want. In fact, we have a reunification place where we account for all the children and bus them to the appropriate place. We're trying to find a new location for that, for this drill. But we want to clearly communicate with parents that it's not appropriate for them to be on campus if we have a potential active shooter on campus, because if they come, they may, one, be mistaken, and two, be in open fire, depending on what the situation is.
We had some issues
Yeah.
with that. So we had people on site, and Mike was having to deal with them at the time.
And that is actually the protocol of our first responders. So they'll be blocking off. That's the first thing they do, is blocking off the entire campus. This drill, again, will include all 3 buildings, and just staff will be on the premises at that time. We're going to ask for volunteer students as well at the high school level, I believe. And I'm working with Brenda on that.
See if there are any parents that want to, or adults that want to participate in some way. It's a good way to get eyeballs
See the
on the
process.
process.
Mhm.
Yeah, don't be the shooter, Bill. That'd be a scary one.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
So they'll go through the scenario, they'll get through that, and then law enforcement wants to stay for a while, and they're going to practice entryway, inserting themselves within the buildings and, entries and things like that they want to do.
So it's going to be a big community.
It will be a big deal. They'll have a whole Spartan blocked off, and we talked about putting it into the forum ahead of time and such, so people know what was going on with the multi.
So who's the lead on that, the city or the county?
Well, it kind of got dropped onto us,
Mhm.
is what it did.
It wasn't our drill. It really was the hospital's drill. And then because it's on our campus, we're going to spearhead it.
Well, who tends to be the lead law enforcement in the city?
City,
Okay.
Mike, and then Brian King as well. And so he's been a big part of it as well. Really good working with those guys on getting them into E3 now. So we're getting everybody tied into E3, which makes it a little faster and quicker too. So
And E3 is a part of the legislation in the past year that requires every school district to pick what they're going to use so that they can better implement, get faster response when there's an emergency.
we're also working on the cameras, getting those available too. So they'll have live view on the cameras. We just have some paperwork to go through and whatnot.
Available to the E3.
It now available to law enforcement. So law enforcement can have live view is what they can have.
And what paperwork is needed for that?
Memos of understanding and such. So
So that they can't release confidential.
And who's working on that for us?
we have some paperwork that Michael's turned in for that, and we just got to read through it. And
Get
then we'll send it over to the
attorney.
city and have them, and then we'll have that second portion done. So,
Okay.
any questions on the lockdown or anything?
Let's hope we don't have any more.
I agree.
Good practice.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. Winter and spring athletics. Kyle.
I'm gonna stand up here because I can't see very well. My eyes are on me.
I can't see that either.
Can't either.
Try to make this a little bigger for you.
Can you walk off mine?
Yeah, I was just gonna
I
say.
can't get in on it.
Okay.
You need to get closer?
No.
Oh,
Well, see, those numbers are pretty small, but. So, anyways, we typically do, annual updates on our athletic programs, education-based athletic programs. We were able to do a fall one and, we missed winter. And so I was hoping to catch you guys up on, both winter and spring, which isn't quite finished, but we're getting close to wrapping up, spring sports as well. So the first thing I wanted to share, was our new website that just launched. I think this is important for board members to know and community members to know. And then give some kudos to Tina Hagan, who spent a lot of time working with the company on putting this together. The idea being that we've got sort of a one-stop shop where parents, coaches, everybody can go to try to get information on athletics. And
We'll have like the schedules, everything.
yeah, I was
on
gonna
it.
kind of walk you through it here if Hazel can get the website to function.
We can't get it, we couldn't get it on ours either.
Yeah.
to open up.
Oh gosh, this is a different setup. Sorry, Kyle. Here is the website. Trying to make it bigger for you guys. Didn't. Well, I'll make the screen bigger. Didn't really help for you guys either.
Okay, well, I can kind of talk through some of the features if I can, even if you just put that one slide up that shows the front page.
I think this is the front page. It's looking a little weird on here because it's distorting it, I think,
Okay.
a little bit.
So some of the things I would highlight that are on the website for people to know. First thing is the schedules. Everybody wants to know what the current schedules are. And so the nice thing about the website is that it syncs with our scheduling system. So it's real time. So anytime another athletic director from another school or Tina or I go in and make a change to the schedule, it's gonna sync with the website. And so you should be at any point in time be able to go in and see real-time scheduled information. There's one nuance with the scheduling system, and it's, there it is, kind of out of our control, is that the home teams are the ones that are required to enter the events. And so if you were to pull up Forks High School football schedule for next fall, right now you would see a game missing. It'd be from a visiting team that's hosting. They haven't entered it yet. And so I can't control that. So that's why it's good that folks know to continually come back here and to always be checking, because this is live. Like I said, it syncs with the schedule information that all athletic directors in the state are using. So that's a pretty user-friendly option. The other nice thing on here is there's a link to what we call Final Forms, which is a platform that we use for student registration. So if students want to register for a sport, fall sport, winter sport, spring sport, there you go, in the Final Forms. It takes you right here. So again, this is kind of a one-stop shop for students, parents, and staff. So if parents want to register their kids, they can click right to this link, takes them to Final Forms.
So is this different than, I mean, it's been 2 years since I've had to do this, but still parents would have to do a new sign
Yeah.
for this?
The nice thing about this system is that if they sign up in the fall, they can register their kids for all 3 seasons. So you don't have to continually go in there. It keeps all their records. Once you have an account, it keeps all your records. So it makes it a lot easier for parents to register their students. On the staff end, it keeps track of all of our trainings, compliance. It syncs with the WIA. all the participation numbers syncs with the WIA. So everything's kind of linked together. Like I said, a one-stop shop. The other nice thing is that you can see Mr. Archibald, who attends a lot of our home events, takes a lot of really nice photos of our kids and gives us a platform for him to display photos. If you scroll down a little bit further, she's got a nice little note about it. And then there's galleries for both the high school and the middle school
Oh,
from the
that's
different
cool.
events that Lonnie attends. So parents and kids can go on here and look at the pictures and have access to his photos, which is a great community service that he provides. I know parents and kids are really excited to see real-time photos
Yeah.
from events that just occurred. And then if you go back up to the top, the fan zone, you click on that. That takes you right to the NFHS website network. So if you want to watch games, they're going to be streamed live. Takes you right to the Forks High School website. So if it's an away game and another school's hosting and they have the NFHS camera, you can just go to this link and watch the games from there. I think you have to sign up for an account that you can get access to games away. And then we also stream all of our home games that are either in the gym or out on the field. So if you're not feeling great, you can't come down to the gym or the stadium, you could click the link and watch it at home.
Is there a fee for that, or do you know?
Yeah, I think you got to sign up for an account.
Yeah, there's a fee.
$11 a month,
$11 a month.
somewhere around
Yeah.
Gosh, break the bank.
Let me look at that menu one more time, Hazel. There's team pages, which are really for coaches. So coaches can go on there and it'll have their schedule, but they can also put bulletins or memos to their teams and their players. It's also got information for parents under forums, which is handbook, travel forms, kind of really common things that happen a lot that we need or need access to. So people can go right here and access those pretty quickly. So we're pretty excited about it. Like I said, kudos to Tina, who spent a lot of time behind the scenes putting this together. But we're hoping that, it'll help with communication around athletics. So,
It's nice to have it all in one spot.
yeah.
That'd be really good.
And then getting back to presentation, again, education-based athletics is really about participation, because again, we know that when kids are participating in our athletics programs and our activities, that their attendance seems to be higher and their grades seem to be better. So we're always kind of closely monitoring our participation levels across all three programs. And so if you look at the top bar, this is our fall sports. The top line is high school and the second line down is middle school. You can kind of combine those two numbers to get an idea about how many kids for each season. Same with winter, which is in the middle, and then spring sports at the bottom. I just did the average. So on average, we got about 143 kids that are participating each season. So that gives you an idea about the number of students in middle school, high school that are participating. Before I came over, I looked at last year's data. It's almost exactly the same, like 145, 146 on average. So we're staying, I guess, steady with our participation levels. We have a lot more alternative learning now, so that's interesting to watch how enrollment compares to participation. But for the last couple of years, it's been pretty steady around that 140 mark. And then, of course, again, education-based. The purpose of participation is education, and so we always try to come up with ways to recognize our academics. And this is in our handbook, but we basically have 4 different levels of recognition. The first one is the WIA Scholastic Awards Program. And this is given out by the WIA, and it's a team award. And so it's not individual based, it's based on the team. And so you basically account for your players or your varsity players in your lineup, and you go through and you average their GPA based on previous semester grade. And so that's the team sort of level, and they have 2 different levels, which is distinguished, which is a 3.5, or no, distinguished is
3 to 3.49.
yeah, 3 to 3.49, and then outstanding is the 3.5 to 4.0. We also have academic recognition within our league, so the Pacific League that we belong to down south. And what they do is they recognize sophomores or higher that have a 3.5 cumulative GPA, not just the most recent term, as being a Pacific all academic team. And so they get a certificate that's specific from the league. And then within our own programs, we have what we call Spartan Scholar, and we want to encourage kids just to keep above that 3.0. And so based on the most recent quarter or semester, kids that are participating, if they have a 3.0, we give them a certificate. And then the last one is what we call a Scholar Athlete Award. And this is an award that is meant to encourage high levels of academics, but also participation in multiple sports. And so in order to get a Scholar Athlete Award, and there's a nice patch that goes with it, you have to have been a varsity letter winner in 3 sports and maintain a 3.5 cumulative GPA. And so if you look at this year, our team awards, we had 4 distinguished teams and 1 outstanding team award, our girls track team, averaging a 3.5 or above. So again, this is really positive. We like to see this many teams getting this kind of recognition. Again, it goes along with the belief that, when kids are participating in these sports, that they're doing better in school. And so each of those teams will get a certificate that comes from the WIA. And then this is our Pacific All League. Again, this is sophomore or higher that has a 3.5 cumulative GPA. You can kind of see how it's broken down by sport. We had a total of 26 athletes. This is through fall and winter. We haven't added up all the spring ones yet. But if we were to throw our freshmen in there, that number would go up to 43, although they don't count. So again, another good indicator of academic success. And then our Spartan Scholars, this is from the most recent quarter or semester grade, a 3.0 or above. We had a total of 80 kiddos that were fall or winter athletes that met that mark.
Good.
And then again, like I said, our Scholar Athlete Award, we won't be able to award those until after the last semester grades are completed. So it's usually late June before we recognize those kids. But I looked, and I think right now we have 9 kids that are on track to earn a Scholar Athlete Award. And then as far as, athletic achievements, just kind of summarizing our winter sports team achievements. Our boys basketball team was second in league. They qualified for districts. They didn't make it to state, but they still had a really good season. Same with girls basketball. They were actually co-league champs again with Raymond South Bend. That seems to be the trend every year. And again, qualified for districts. Didn't quite make it to state, but were competitive. Boys wrestling team, they were district champs and finished 3rd in the state. They qualified 18 male wrestlers. Of the 18, 8 of them were placers, and we had 1 state champion. And girls wrestling, we qualified 4 for state and had a girls state champion as well. And then kind of a historic year for cheerleading. This was the first year that Forks High School sent a competitive cheer squad to the state meet. And it was quite the experience talking with Sassy. A lot of schools, a lot of big schools, not a lot of small schools there. And so it was a really good experience for the team. They feel like they really got a good understanding about what it's like now. And they're pretty excited and motivated to do it again next year. So that was a pretty cool achievement. And then individual success in basketball, girls basketball, Bailey Johnson was voted league MVP. And that's by coaches in the league. Chloe Godesky received first team all league recognition in basketball, and Titus Rowley was the league MVP. So I'm pretty cool to have 2 MVPs in the boys and girls basketball team. Mm-hmm. And then there's our 2 state champions from wrestling, Jade Blair, 125, and Kenny Damon. Kenny's a senior, and Jade is only a sophomore.
And she's our first
Yeah.
female state champ, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And then spring sports, we're just kind of wrapping up, like all league for boys soccer hasn't even occurred yet. But the boys soccer team had a great season. We had a new coaching staff. They were highly competitive. They were right right there on the edge of qualifying for districts. They had a really good season. Baseball was third in league, qualified for districts. Fast pitch was second in league. They got one game away from making it to state. And track and field just literally finished districts and qualified 6 athletes for the state tournament. I believe they leave tomorrow to go compete. And then sort of a summary of individual achievements. Landon Olson and Lane Halvey were first team all-league for baseball. Bailey Johnson, Chloe, and Finley Peters made first team for fast pitch. Again, track and field qualified 6 athletes. And I believe I've got these right. And Cam, if I'm wrong, let me know. Noah Foster, 400 meter, took second place. Karina Nandile was 4th, I believe, in the shot put. And then our girls 4x200 meter team qualified, which was Natasha Flesher, Sky Heston, Kimberly Camacho, and Elizabeth Morrison. So I want to wish them all luck. And lastly, thank you for all your support. I know that our coaches feel very supported by the board. Our kiddos have great resources, good supplies, good equipment. We're able to travel and go to events, and that's not the case in every school district. So very grateful to the board for all your support.
Thank you, Kyle. Any questions for him?
No,
No? Okay.
kids are
And
doing
thanks
great.
to all of the volunteers who help put on our events. I know that our other superintendents say that kids love to travel to come to Forks for good events.
All righty, thank you. Let's move on to financial reports. Our ending cash balance. Diana.
Okay. This is your monthly budget report. We received 9% apportionment for the month of April. Over 6 million, almost 7 million, and expenditures were at 5.5 million, with net cash at 1.2 million. And so if you look at the general fund, this is the net cash and investments that we have in the county treasurer. For the month of April, we have 9.6 million, which is 14% of our $70 million budget. And you can see the chart if you look very closely. We are in the month of April. We're about where we were last year in 2024, 2025, just right under the 9.9 million threshold. So we're down just a little bit in our general fund, but we'll see the trend move very similarly for the rest of the year. We met our board policy minimum fund at 5%. And we have reserves for carryover dollars of 282,000 for a total of 5.4% of the budget. Our unreserved and designated is at 8.3%, 5.9 million. Yeah.
Good, okay.
So one of the things that I know that we watch very closely is if you look at our debt service fund for our timber dollars, we budgeted 120,000 for the annual budget, and currently we're at 175,000. So we are quite a bit over what we were projecting. And so the good news about that are actual fund balance in the debt service fund, where those timber dollars are at almost 2.5 million. And again, that's the surplus that we use to build our stadium. And so when that accrues over time, then that's money that you guys have the authority to figure out. That's the only local dollars that you can deem where they go. That's really your variable funds. And we're anticipating a little bit more in there. Also in the transportation funds, remember we purchased another bus for this year, and we still haven't gotten it. There was a recall. I think we were expecting it, and September.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that was a while.
And I think we're getting it this month, is what Bruce said, if not very shortly here. But the other thing that occurred in the transportation fund is we saw about $112,000 reduction, but it was some inaccuracy in the state funding software, so they're reinstating that. I don't know if you've read, there's some flaws in the OSPIs. I'm not sure what it was, but we're getting that back.
What do we do with the surplus bus?
Um,
We're gonna have a bus that's,
that we will surplus and
Yeah.
sell.
yeah, just, yeah.
Mhm.
Put it up for bid or something. I'm gonna buy that.
Then the only other thing I would say is budget status. You have probably seen in the, well, you probably saw in my Friday memo that other school districts in our vicinity are doing reductions for next year. And so a couple of things. There is a baby bust, so you can see that we're not enrolling as many kindergartners across the state, across the nation. And that's one of the reasons for the decline in enrollment. And so the decline in enrollment, and then the legislation is not like our index price deflation, IPD, which used to be the old COLA, is not keeping up with the inflationary rates. And then, of course, the cost of insurance, the cost of diesel, all the escalating costs. We'll be watching our budget very closely. My prediction is that we'll be a little bit in the deficit this year once we finalize our budget planning, and we'll have to look at reduction of force either through attrition and or what other school districts are doing. It's just taking us a little bit longer to catch up. And we do have the undesignated, unreserved funds like some school districts do not. But again, we want to make sure that we're very careful in our planning. So just stay tuned on that. But we are not going into any reduction in force for the next school year. We would have had to notify employees by the May 15th deadline per the RCWs.
Okay,
That's good.
on to enrollment.
And then so for basically, we're really averaging about 816 kids. We're down just a little bit. Everything's been pretty stable. If you want to roll through a little bit here and there of changes. And again, if you look at the kindergarten class at 46, I think we were worried about having the low kindergarten class again for next year, but we're currently for pre-enrollment about 60 students. We're thinking we'll get close to 70 with that number back up. The middle school has been very steady, really dead on there with our enrollment projections. Same with Forks High School has been pretty steady. And then our homeschool plus, we've kept really right around 40. And that is run by Janan and Mrs. Whitehead. And then Insight, Myron, you can jump in, but we are not taking any additional enrollments at this time of year, right? We cut it off for
Yeah.
elementary.
Yeah, all schools are no longer approving kids for the current year, so all applications they're approving now are for the next school year.
And so the overall average, if you look, again, we over projected in Insight, but that's a good thing because then we don't have to go out for the budget expenditure, but we're really in good shape.
Okay, good deal. All right. Any questions for Diana on that? If not, let's go to board member reports. Does anybody have anything?
I don't have anything.
No? Ron,
Question.
go for it.
A lot of schools are having to get rid of their resource officers, but I know we're wanting to have that again.
Yes,
So-
we are in the process of trying to figure out if it will work with our budget, and there are federal grants where you can get grants to support it. And what that would look like is we would partner with the sheriff's department. They would provide the SRO, the person, and then they would be legal to have a weapon on campus, we cannot get insurance for weapons, but they can.
So that we would just contract with the sheriff
Mhm.
and
They would pay
we
for,
would pay them.
yes,
So,
mhm,
okay.
contract services. That's what a lot of school
Would it
districts
be a
do.
deputy or someone they hire specifically for
I'm not
SRO?
sure who the
Okay.
personnel would be, but I think they're fully staffed out on the west end now, and that was their goal first. I mean, the good news after our lockdowns is we've had more visiting sheriffs, officers and police officers in the schools just
Being
coming.
present.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
And
in the
it's helpful.
works.
Yeah, it's in the
So,
works still.
Like
Mhm.
maybe even come fall, we might
Yes.
have something.
The goal would be to get it in the budget and then solidify before the fall.
Cool.
Yeah. They do have to do some training with, that is required by a school resource officer. There's different training through OSPI that they would have to complete prior to being on campus.
Is it online training or?
Some of it is,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, then they get hired first and then go to the training, or they have to have the training first?
They would have to have the training first, but they can do that prior to their start.
But after they've been hired?
They would already be hired with the sheriff's
Oh,
department
gotcha.
now.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Of course. All right. All righty. Anybody else? Anything else? Myron, any good news or bad news? No, no bad news. Any good news from Insight?
Well, we don't ever have any bad news at Insight. We're always good news here, right? So we're finishing out the school year. We're still in the midst of re-registration. I do have some good news in that we already, as you know, we have to get these choice transfers reapproved every year. And we are doing fairly well on that effort. We already have one just shy of just over 1,200 choice transfers approved for next year. So every one of our students, so all 3,000 students have to get reapproved every school year. So we're making great strides towards that. So that's awesome. Our team is still working really hard at doing that, and we're excited about graduation coming up and here in a couple of weeks, and we're pushing forward for that.
Hey, are those that they're having to get clearance from, are they becoming more cooperative?
Yeah, the school districts generally are more cooperative. It just seems, but it's really a frustration point for families, Bill. It's one of those things where they when we message families, they're like, I have been going here for like 5 years. Why do I have to get permission again to do this? And so there's that frustration with families. They often forget it because they only have to do it once a year, and it's kind of frustrating in that context too, is that they'll say, did you get it? Well, the problem is that the way the process works is they first have to submit it to the resident district. We can't see anything until that resident district approves it. And so sometimes there's a delay in how long it takes that resident district to approve it, so we can see it to then approve it as a school district. And so there's some definite challenges there. And I know that Diana and other superintendents have tried to submit requests to OSPI in order to have them revisit this, because there's nothing in the legislation that requires it to be done annually. It's just OSPI's rules that are requiring it. So.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Is Sheila on?
I am on, and I'm freezing in my view. Yeah.
I just wanted to let the board, do you mind if I let the board know that
No,
Sheila
I
will
wanna say
be
thank you.
retiring on June the 3rd.
Oh, wow.
So we want to thank you for your steadfast leadership and your partnership. I learned that, Sheila, you've been with K-12 for 13 years or 18 years?
I've been here 15 years, and then I was with the original Insight for another 3 or 4 years prior to coming over to the K-12 side of the world. Yeah.
Well, that's next Wednesday.
Congratulations.
I know, so
Well, next Friday,
congratulations.
June 5th, a little longer. But
Okay.
I want to share that this is officially the last board meeting I will attend of my professional career, and I couldn't be more happy with it being your board that is the capstone of my career. I want to just say, if you just give me a second here, I just want to say thank you so much to Diana, to the board members, the staff. This partnership has really just been wonderful. We're able to provide virtual experiences for thousands of students every single year that otherwise we're not sure where they might have gone, right? So this is really a great option for them. And it has truly been a privilege for me to work alongside such a dedicated team of leaders and professionals. And I just want to say thank you. The person who's going to come in behind me as a backfill, Terry Katie, she's been with the company a while, really great leader. Those of you who have been to the Board and Partner Summit at K-12 may have met her or seen her leading seminars on career technical programming out of Colorado. So I think you're in really good hands, and I just want to say thank you.
Thanks, Sheila.
We're sure gonna miss you, Sheila.
I miss you too.
We should have had cake
I
for
know.
her last board meeting.
You're gonna be getting a
Good
surprise
idea.
gift from us, but we just really appreciate everything that
You're
you've
supposed
done
to
for our
tell her that.
partnership.
Thank you, likewise.
All right. All right, let's go down to, if that's all we have for Diana and board members, let's move down to unfinished business. First up is the approval of the Forks Middle School Skills USA Club name change to the CTE Club and Constitution update. And I need a motion to do that.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Forks Middle School Skills USA Club name change to CTE Club.
All right,
I'll second it.
okay. Any questions or problems with that? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. All right, let's move on then. The Forks Middle School Band Constitution and Bylaws.
I'll make a motion we pass the Forks Middle School Band Constitution and Bylaws.
I'll second it.
Okay, any questions on that? Okay, if not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 3, any opposed? No. Okay, Forks High School Band Constitution and Bylaws, addendum to Article 2.
I'll make a motion, we do the FHS Band Constitution and Bylaws amendment to Article 2.
Okay,
Second.
any questions about that? Or comments? Not hearing any. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
You
Any
can tell
opposed, say
our-
no.
ASB secretary is just making sure everything's in alignment. This is probably Brandy, she does a great job. Probably this is one of the areas they will audit for next year, and they audit the year prior. So we're just going back, she's going back into making sure all the ones have accurate and current signatures of officers.
One thing that would be good is if you could read their signature. I mean, some of these you can't even tell, it's just, just scribble. something.
Maybe have them print their name and then scribble.
It
and then
might be
scribble.
yours.
Looks like a scribble with a cape on there.
I can't even pick a letter out of that one.
That's mine. Sorry.
Okay. None opposed to that. It is approved. Okay, number 4, Forks High School Speech and Debate Team Constitution and Bylaws and update.
I'll make a motion, we adopt the Forks High School Speech and Debate Team Constitution and Bylaws, the update.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor, any questions? All those in favor then say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. It's approved. Forks High School Yearbook Club Constitution and Bylaws. Just the signature page?
Yeah, just the signature page.
Okay,
That's what we were missing.
I'll make a motion, we apply the Forks High School Yearbook Club Constitution and Bylaws at the signature page.
I'll second.
okay. Any questions about that? Just the signature page? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. I guess that's stupid, but so be it. Forks High School Yearbook Club Constitute. Constitution and bylaws, an update to it.
I'll make a motion, we approve the FHS Yearbook Club Constitution and bylaws update.
I'll second it.
Any questions? Yeah, why didn't we just do them together? Since it's updating it.
One was the old one from 2021, and they didn't have a signature page on that, so Brandy wanted to make sure we had it in our records. And then the other one is the new one.
The other one's a new one, yeah.
Okay. All right. Makes sense, I guess. All those in favor, then, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the yearbook club constitution bylaws update, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. There's nobody else to say no, so it passes. Forks High School Drama Club Constitution update. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the FHS Drama Club Constitution.
Is there a sec? Did somebody second?
I'll second.
Any questions? Okay, and all those all those in favor of the Drama Club Constitution approval, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And none are opposed. Moving on to new business. The Forks High School valedictorian and salutatorian requirements.
So this is for discussion only. We're in the process of updating our procedural handbooks for students and parents. And that's a collective K-12 one. And I know that this has come up in the past and we have not made any changes. But currently, a valedictorian and salutatorian is the highest ranked GPA student and can be a Running Start student or a Forks High School student. And so the question in looking at, and I have, of course, Brenda King here, who can also talk about other schools. I know she's done a little bit of research, but there's anything from technically students who are fully enrolled in Running Start are only enrolled in QVSD. They may participate in athletics, extracurricular activities, but they're technically not a student at Forks High School. And so the question is then what your preference is. Some school districts will say at minimum that a student has to be part-time enrolled in their high school career in order to qualify for valedictorian or salutatorian and be a part of Forks High School in order to earn that as the salutatorian and valedictorian of Forks High School, not QVSD, but Forks High School. And so we were consider changing it last year because currently it's pretty wide open, but I just wanted to hear your thinking and see what your thoughts are about it before we make any recommendation.
What are other schools doing?
I can bring a snapshot with, to the next meeting, to kind of give you some ideas on what, so I've been researching Squint without, the schools on the peninsula, to kind of do a comparison of where they're at, but I can bring you that hard data to the next meeting if you would like more information on it.
Yeah, I would like more information.
Yeah.
Before we decide. Yeah, absolutely. I won't put you on the spot.
And it's varied from year to year. Like this year, we have a Running Start student only and a Forks High School student, right? Is that correct? I know the year we had 5.
It was all
Forks High School students.
except Nate had one class.
Yeah,
It was just one part-time.
and again, it's just I guess the transparency, if it's a valedictorian and salutatorian at Forks High School, but you have kids who may never have stepped foot in Forks High School, is that really truly the valedictorian and salutatorian?
Well, except for they've been there first 2 years.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
There was a student that transferred, he was in Homeschool Plus this year, and he transferred so he could do worksite learning at second semester. So because he had straight A's, he would have qualified for valedictorian, but because it says in the handbook that he had to attend the whole senior year, then.
He wasn't eligible.
Yeah, so just kind of tightening up that system.
We can bring the data to the next meeting so you can really see.
Well, give us a chance.
Yeah,
to
give
think
you,
about it
give you a
little bit.
chance to think about it, maybe talk to some of the people that you know and represent, see what their ideas are.
Okay. Let's do that.
How do the students feel about that? Do they have an opinion on it, the students?
It's a good
I
question.
haven't really asked them yet, but I can take that to leadership and get some student feedback.
May-
Because that's a-
Maybe ASB ought to put out a quick survey
We could put out a
Yeah.
quick survey through Thrillshare,
with the
Mhm.
for the students.
students, yeah, and parents
I bet you they'd go with full-time student. I don't know though.
in Forks, in FHS.
Why is this platform called Thrillshare?
Because
That
you're
doesn't-
happy every time you get a message.
Because you're
What was that?
thrill sharing it.
Where we share things with you.
Oh, I get it. It's sarcasm. Okay. All right. Okay, under new business number 2, is that all for?
Yeah.
Is that enough for
Yeah.
tonight? Prevention Club Constitution bylaws requires a motion. And is this continuing the cleanup?
Yeah, I
Of
believe
records.
we have not had a full document, even though we've had a prevention club, so we need the bylaws.
Okay,
That's why it's under new business.
I'll
okay,
make a motion that we adopt the prevention club's bylaws.
okay, thanks. A second.
I'll second.
Any questions about it? Otherwise, I guess Diana answered it. So all those in favor of the Prevention Club Constitution bylaws being approved, say aye. Aye. None are opposed. And last but not least, on new business is the Forks High School Class of 2026 Constitution, which is just a hair almost late.
Well, and I think the purpose of this is that they did not have specified how they would use funds that are left over, and they are proposing to donate it to the class of 2027.
Nice.
Okay. How much is that? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay,
Depends how much they spend on their trip,
Mhm.
probably.
gotcha. Okay, and so do debts go to the 2027 too? Or they overspend for their trip?
No.
No? Okay, good. All right, so is there a motion then to adopt the Forks High School Class of 26 Constitution?
I'll make a motion.
Thanks.
Forks High School Class of 2026.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. None are opposed. I didn't hear Kevin. Were you an aye or a nay?
I was a yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at their signatures just going.
Okay. Okay, so it was a nod of the
I can't read
head.
one of them.
All right, so that is approved. We now have an executive session, short one.
I would say till 20 minutes till 7.
Well, that's 2 minutes.
No, 6:38.
So, and we'll be back in 2 minutes?
No, 20 minutes.
Oh, 20 minutes, so at 7.
7.
So we'll be back at 7. No action is anticipated. We appreciate everybody being here tonight and your comments and your participation. We are back from executive session, no action to be taken. We are adjourned.